بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Okay, so the next thing we'll try to see what are the various benefits we get with the network automation, because when you're adding network automation in your network, we'll see how it's going to impact your networks or the world of networks. Now, with the help of network automation, the network engineers or the network admin role becomes much easier. So at the same time, it will also provide you some other benefits in terms of company wise, like reducing the overall cost or reduce the operational cost, we can say, because with the help of automation options, the network cost will automatically decrease, because most of the network activities can be automated, which will provide you a faster way of deploying the devices, whether it is doing the configurations, or whether you are whether you are doing some kind of troubleshooting, or whether you are trying to manage the other devices or deploy any new devices. So all these things automatically, these tasks can be faster, which will again reduce the operational cost and also the number of network engineers required to deploy or manage that particular networks. Okay, so it will, in terms of network engineering, in network engineers point of view, we can say it minimizes the job complexity, because you're not going to do each and every, you don't need to really memorize each and every show command to figure out what might be the problem, or you don't need to remember each and every command line interface when you want to do the configurations. And in terms of network engineers, again, whatever the task, when you do it manually, let's say it takes few hours, and that can be done, means let's say it takes 6 to 8 hours, that can be done in less than 1 or 2 hours, or with a fewer people again. So, and also it will save your time, as I said, and also it will eliminate the repetition of errors. Eliminate the repetition means, again, the same things you don't need to repeat, and also minimizes the human errors. Less likely the human errors are possible. Now the next thing is like, now other options, what you get here is configuration consistency. Now configuration consistency means we will be having some kind of stable configurations or stable working configurations, which are as close to as what you want to be implemented in your network. Okay, so this will ensure that you have the exact same configurations what you are expected to configure in your network, or as per your company requirements. And when you have the stable configurations, again, it will minimize the time for the troubleshooting, because when you have correct configurations in place, there are most likely, there are very less troubleshooting you need to do, because you already have all the correct configurations in place. And apart from that, we also have a better network control. So with the help of automation softwares or automation programs, we will have a perfect view of your network. Means kind of, you can see the diagram, how the devices are connected. You can see the status of your devices, or the CPU utilization, or the number of devices you have, or how many active devices are there. And this all information you can have a better view in a graphical representation, which will provide you the perfect view of your network. And you also have an access to your network from one single centralized place, that is from controller. You can access all your network, even your data, and also all the performance reports easily. So this will improve your control on your network. Now apart from that, there is one more thing you get, is elastic scaling. Now elastic scaling is a term used to define a kind of ability. We can say it's a kind of ability to automatically add or remove computers, servers, or networking devices. Like this was introduced initially like with the VMware servers. Let's say you are using some kind of VMs, virtual machines, where you have some kind of dedicated servers to be installed. And the requirement of the servers may change. Maybe, you, as per the requirement for this month, you require at least 5 servers to handle that load or the request, and maybe the next month you just need only 3 servers, or maybe the next month you need 8 servers. So depending upon the requirement, the infrastructure can be automatically added or removed, completely based on the requirement. Like the number of VM servers which are required can be allocated, or it can be removed as per the requirement. Again, removing whenever we don't require them. So scaling, this can also be, you can compare with the kind of scaling with WAN circuits. Let's say you got multiple WAN circuits in your network, and you are running multiple WAN connections, and probably the router may use this WAN circuit to forward the traffic. So whenever it realizes that there is not enough bandwidth available on this link, it can immediately start using the second link, which is actually used as a backup. And again, it can remove that forwarding from the forwarding whenever it is not required. So this is also one example of elastic scaling, where you can have a backup WAN circuit, and that will be automatically added or removed, or automatically used or not used, depending upon the requirement. Now there is one more thing, just a small note you need to know, specifically with networks. So most of the network administrators, most of the time what they do is they work with the command line interface. Like if you take an example of the network engineers working on a Cisco devices, so probably they will be doing most of the things from the command line, where they will be doing some kind of configuration changes, or verifying some troubleshooting with the help of some commands, or doing some kind of monitoring with some kind of SNMP tools. So this is something what is generally restricted the job of a network engineers, associated with network devices most of the time. And as a part of network automation now, because the network automation is more and more common now, mostly now the network engineers need to have some little bit knowledge, or they need to be a little bit familiar with the server side operations, like server side options, like, because all the automation tools, software, whatever you run, they run on specific servers. And when you are running this automation softwares on a specific servers, basically you need to know the some kind of terminologies like the CPU. Generally you have two CPU, 2 core CPU, something like that, 3 core, 4 core, like that. And then you need to understand the terminology like core, again, what is core inside, and then software packages required, or installation of your operating systems, maybe an operating system or patches, these kind of things. You don't need to be really expert in that, but at the same time, now the network engineers, when it comes to automation, they need to have some basic understanding of the server side terminologies and the server side concepts to some extent.